Proverbs 8, which is what he was saying, why he think that. 8, and I guess we read 8 and all the way up to 1, all the way up to, where'd you stop at?
I think he went all the way to the end.
So, I mean, so what we saying, we trying to say that he was son, he was always been the son?
Right. Has he always been the son?
Yeah, I mean, in Proverbs 8, I don't really, I hear you, but I don't really see that in that.
So, I add something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Proverbs 8, read verse 12. That's what.
That's the hidden point.
That's the hidden point.
I think he dwelt on. He said, "Go ahead, read that 12."
Our wisdom dwell with.
Say that again.
Our wisdom dwell with prudence.
So that's talking about wisdom. That's wisdom being personified.
Right.
Go right into Proverbs chapter 9 and read verse 1.
Wisdom have built her house.
It's a her. So it's a continual thought from Proverbs 8 into 9, personifying wisdom, and it says it's a she. So that couldn't be the Lord.
Right.
So that's not what we're talking about. He's talking about wisdom in that precept right there.
Yeah.
So that, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what else you could come up with will make you think that. If we go to, I mean, because everything, like in Hebrews, let's go to Hebrews 7. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Give him the mic.
You had just asked that question. A couple things that was said in there.
Yeah, go ahead.
When it said, like, I am counsel, I have strength,
Right.
by me kings reign,
Right.
Even all the judges of the earth.
Right.
That, I mean, that those are the things that kind of highlighted for me that made me say what I said, thinking that this is Jesus.
Let's go to Hebrews 7.
Okay. Go ahead, big brother.
Because as you read through the book, as we all know, you always come up with, he from everlasting. And even we read in the beginning, he's always there. So let's go Hebrews 7, and let's pick it up at verse 1. Hold on, let me get there. I'm tripping a little bit.
You all good.
So that's always been the case. So let's go ahead and pick it up. Go ahead, you can start at verse 1. 7-1, go ahead.
For this Melchizedek, king of Salem, priest of the Most High God, who met Abraham returning from the slaughter of the kings and blessed him, to whom also Abraham gave a 10th part of all, first being by interpretation king of righteousness, after that also king of Salem,
Go ahead.
which is king of peace.
Okay, so this is what we call who Jesus, right? But go ahead.
Without father, without mother, without descent, having neither beginning of days nor end of life.
See, so you're just telling you, hey, he has always been. He has always been. Go ahead.
But made like unto the Son of God.
Okay, so he was made like that even before he had in the beginning of days and end time. You have something you want to say? Go ahead. Okay, well hold that thought there. So now let's go back to the beginning. Let's read this other thing, then we'll get to you too. We gonna bounce it back because this is what we do. We have fun up in here. Let's go to Psalms 55. See, every time I always read it, it's always he's always in the beginning. He's always there. He's always been there in the beginning. Because he said he got no end of time. I've thought about that before within myself, like, because God created everything, but then you do have that thought that who created God? Right. Yeah, you do have that thought in your mind. Go ahead. Yeah, he come. Yeah. We got time. We got plenty of time, man. Praise God. Yeah, okay. So let's read this real quick. Psalms 55, and pick it up at verse 12, 55 and 12, because this is Jesus talking here, but about the mouth of David. Go ahead.
For it was not an enemy that reproached me, then I could have borne it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Neither was he that hated me that did magnify himself against me.
Go ahead.
Then I would have hid myself from him. But it was thou, a man my equal, my God, and my acquaintance. We took sweet counsel together and walked unto the house of God.
Notice they orchestrating this thing. They talking among each other. They took sweet counsel together. Go ahead.
Let death seize upon them, and let them go down quick into hell, for weakness is in their dwelling among them.
So that's just letting you know that every time I read it, they always together on one accord. Always. So I'm gonna read one more spot, then we're gonna get a mic back to him. Let's go to John 17 real quick. Yeah, everybody gonna get a chance. I got you all in point. We're gonna rotate it around. Everybody gonna get a chance. And this is always I always have read. And this is Jesus, obviously, when he was about to be getting crucified, just before he died. John 17. And pick it up at verse 1. John 17 and 1. And then we're going to let Brother Will back there, and then we're going to rotate it. What's your name again, bro? We're going to let Mike go, and then you right after him.
All right. John 17 and 1.
Yeah, go ahead.
These words spake Jesus, and lifted up his eyes to heaven and said, Father, thou hast come, glorify thy Son, that thy Son also may glorify thee.
So he's about to die. He's being crucified. And he said, hey, this is the time. This is what's going on. Go ahead.
Verse 2. As thou hast given him power over all flesh, that he should give eternal life to as many as thou hast given him.
Go ahead.
And this is life eternal, that they might know thee, the only true God, and Jesus Christ, whom thou hast sent.
So that's the only God they know, right? Go ahead.
I have glorified thee on the earth. I have finished the work which thou gavest to do.
Mm-hmm. Now notice when we read in Psalm 55, he said we took sweet counsel, right? So they orchestrate, okay, so what we going to do? And, obviously they were talking about this creation, what's going to go on, what's take sweet counsel. That's what this whole story is about. It's about God's, right? Orchestrating what we're going to do. So they took sweet counsel together. But go ahead.
5.
Watch what he's saying, 5.
And now, O Father, glorify thou me with thine own self, with the glory which I had with thee before the world was.
So he said, hey, give me this. What I had from the beginning, before the world even was. So every time we reading this, he is always like on one accord. And you can even read him. He said, Jesus said, I and my Father are one. Now, they took sweet counsel on who was going to be the one, basically, to probably set up and be the one who's going to come down. That's what because this is all about creation, about mankind. That's what this is all about. And every time I have read it, they have always been one. They never even when they was going to stone him, he told them, right? He said, my Father, we won. They had always been one, operating as one. So I ain't never really read nothing even remotely close to saying anything separate from that. He told them, he told them brothers right off from the bat, they on one accord. He told Thomas, when Thomas said, show us the Father, he said, man, if you seen me, you seen the Father. Because the words he speaks. And that's how we learn things anyway, period. You can see somebody's face, but that don't mean you know him. So that's why he was looking at Thomas. He was telling him, like, what, you know me. He said, it will suffice to show me the Father. But you know the Father because you know his message. Because that's how we learn to know somebody, right? What's up on their mind. Forget what you see. You can see somebody all the time, but you don't know them. You don't even know what's up here. Then you say, oh, that's a good brother. Well, that's a good sister, because what's according up here. So that's why Thomas said, you don't need to see them. Seeing them don't mean nothing. You see people every day, but you don't know them. So it's what's here. What's coming out of here is what you get the chance to know somebody. So that's why he told Thomas that. But if you always read throughout the scripture, you always find out that he always said that I and my Father are one. They always been one. Psalm 55, we took sweet counsel together. It was always on one accord. So I ain't never read nothing that said anything to deviate from the difference between the two. Like I said, when he talked to Thomas, he was like, dude, you saw me, you saw him. We speaking the same thing. But we saw that in Psalms. They spoke together, right? That sweet counsel, they was always on one accord. He never deviated with that. And a lot of time I think that, and this is all the regular, a lot of time I think that is, because when you're dealing with a Godhead, man, it's just jobs to do. You know what I'm saying? It's just jobs to do. And everybody just do their job. And when you start talking about levels and who first and all that stuff, man, that starts to become division. We already know who that is. Because it's always about who got this position or who got that. God head don't even operate like that. We just doing work. You gonna go do that, you do it. You go do that, you do it. It ain't about who level, who first, who second. That ain't the mindset. And that's what the type of mindset he was trying to oppose on his disciples was, you know. It's just order. That's all it is. It's order. It's always been order. And that's something that we learn once we begin this word is just order. You know, because we always fixate on who first. Because I didn't have people tell me. I didn't heard Gentile come up to me and was like, you reading that Bible? That Bible's biased. I'm like, why is it biased? Because all they talk about is about Israel. What about the rest of the people in the world? God, all the people of the world? I'm like, bro, this is just order on how he set things up. You got to have some type of order. But with man, that's the conflict that always come about. They just don't want to be obedient and follow orders. But as I say, that's all I have read. But I'm going to let the brother, he got verse 11, 17 and 11.
Oh, yeah, John.
Yeah. No, you can give it to him. Yeah, we're going to bounce around. We gonna, since we're here, we're gonna let Brother Oz, we're going to finish where we at here. Then right, we're going to bounce off. Then we're going to go back. We're going to go back to that brother. But hold tight real quick. But go ahead and read verse 11.
All right. And now I am no more in the world, but these are in the world. I come to thee, Holy Father, come through thine own name, those who thou hast given me, that they may be one as we are.
So that's another thing there. See, and that's talking about us as mankind being as one, on one accord, which is a good point there. Right, as we are one, putting us all on one accord. See, that's why I say when you're talking about Godhead, it's just jobs. It ain't really nobody's worried about I'm over you and over that. That's why when you read here, I don't want to run over your question too much, because I know you was there. But let's go to Psalms. And then, no, I'm gonna let him get back on. Hold on, brother. Hold on. I'm gonna let you get on. But let's see. Go to Psalms 110. Read that.
The whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then let's go to 82, and we're going to read that. And then I'm going to let you get yours on. Go and read that first. Go to 82, then flip back to that. Go Psalms 82, because that's going to go off what Ozzy was saying. In that John 11 verse. 17 and 11, off that John 17, 11. All right, go ahead.
Which verse you
First start at 1.
Psalms 82 and 1. God standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth among the gods.
See, he's letting you know, hey, we are. Notice he said among the gods. You see what I'm saying? When you say God, you see, there ain't no distinction with it and all that. We God, just like what Isaiah had read in the 17th chapter of John 11 verse. Hey, you just gods. Now go flip over to Psalms 110. And it's just another spot on, how it's all set up when they're speaking about them. Go ahead.
Psalms 110. The Lord said unto my Lord.
Hey, they both lords. You had that distinction with, I think sometimes with the Jehovah's Witness, they said, a God, they throw in their little books, they have some books. Hey, it's just Lord on Lord right here. The Lord said unto my Lord what?
Sit thou at my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool.
So, that's it. Now we're going to go ahead, let him go ahead and get his question in.
Hear that.
You piggybacking off what we talking about, or you going on something new?
I'm just piggybacking off what y'all was
talking about. Okay, where you at?
That's why I went to John 17 and 1.
Oh, 17 and 1? Oh, so I just took your thunder from you.
That's okay.
Okay. All right, so you still got something else, or you good? I'm sorry.
Well, I wanted to go to Matthew 17 since we are always on the same subject.
Okay, we can do that. Let's do that. Matthew 17.
17 and 1. And after 6 days, Jesus...
Hold on, he going to read. He going to read.
My fault.
That's why he up here.
If they don't want to read it. 17 and what?
17 and 1.
17 and 1.
And after 6 days, Jesus take Peter, James, and John, his brother, and bringeth them unto an high mountain apart.
Continue.
And was transfigured before them, and his face did shine as the sun, and his raiment was white as the light.
Continue.
And behold, there appeared unto them Moses and Elias talking with them. Then answered Peter and said unto Jesus, Lord, it is good for us to be here. If thou wilt let us make here 3 tabernacles, one for 3, and one for Moses, and one for Elias. While he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them, and behold, a voice out of the cloud which said, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him.
That's it.
Okay, so what's your point on that?
My point is that it points out that
You got to use the mic, Jake.
it points out that the Lord said, "This is my Son, in whom I am well pleased."
Yeah, in the
Hear ye
flesh.
him.
Yeah,
That's
but
all I
that
want.
was slightly off the question, though. I mean, that was, I mean, yeah, we already know he's the son in the flesh, but we talking about before it. We weren't talking about afterwards. We talking about before. You with me?
So what was
The question was the same as before.
so what was the answer?
Everything I've come up with, yeah, I forgot. He had a question too. Yeah. We don't want to jump up. But so far, it's always been, they've been on one accord.
Right, he always been the son.
See, no, he's always been on one accord. I don't know if they never, when they speak of it, he said, when we just read in Psalm, he said, my Lord unto my Lord. He said, my Lord unto my son. He said at my right hand. That was after he came back from before that.
So that's after he died and resurrected.
Right.
That's what David had prophesied.
Right. And then when you read back in Psalm 55 before that, he said, hey, we took sweet counsel together.
So when you have a king, who sits on the right hand?
Yeah, but that was afterwards. Who said that was
Right.
from the beginning?
Right, he said John 17, restore the glory.
That I was before the world was.
Right. So when did that take place? After he died and resurrected.
Exactly.
And then we read in Psalms 110, he said, sit on my right hand.
That he did.
So he sits on the right hand of a king, a prince. So,
Yeah.
that's
But the question was before the world was, before all that.
and that's what the question was in John 17.
That wasn't John
Please,
17. He
he
said, give me back the glory that I had. That's right.
with you before the world
Well,
was.
right.
And he got it. And what happened?
He's sitting on the right hand, waiting to make his enemy his footstool. But did that come before the council after they took sweet counsel together, which was before that, and decided that he was going to be that after that? Was that before that? See, that's my thing. See what I'm saying?
We're going to have to do this off air because Psalms 55, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
No, I know what you're saying.
Right.
But we got to make sure that's what that's
Pre,
talking about.
right. Was that pre before that? Or was that what they determined before that and then came up with that? But go ahead, let them do it.
I ain't even, yeah.
Yeah,
We going to holler off you like
right. You know what I'm saying though, right. But go ahead, get this question.
Can we go to Proverbs 30, chapter 4?
Yeah.
I mean, Proverbs 30, verse 4. I mean, 1 through 4, matter of fact. My bad.
Now it's good stuff though, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But we do that right. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Right. Let them go ahead. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Proverbs 30, 1 through 4.
Go ahead, read, bro.
Proverbs 30 and 4. Who hath ascended up into heaven or descended? Who hath gathered the wind in his fist? Who hath bound the waters in garment? Who hath established all the ends of the earth? What is his name? What is his son's name? If thou canst tell.
So, from what I'm seeing, if this was written by Solomon before Christ came in the flesh, this is them establishing that Solomon knew at this point that Christ was already the Son of God when he was in his original habitation of glory. When he was in the
Yeah, but that's gonna go back to what we was just talking about, me and Art, or Abijah. I apologize, bro.
Because when I read that Psalms 55, I get a different interpretation.
No, I understand that, and I agree with that. But my thing is, they had a plan of God first on what they were gonna do.
Cause that sound like
You know what I'm saying? They sat down and decided how all this stuff was going to transpire. And it's just like we said, they took sweet counsel together. They was thinking about what they was going to do to when this stuff is to get established.
It's a controversial question.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But it's not.
You know.
It is not. But go ahead.
I would say so because over the years, that's what and I'm learning. That's why I came here because I want to be around other brothers who serious about the Lord,
Right.
Who in the book,
Right.
Study to show they self-approved.
Right.
So I learned that the order was always has been the Father God, and then the Son Jesus.
Correct.
Even in the very beginning. The two I think about again we have to go to the New Testament a lot to see things in line upon line, precept upon
Right.
precept. When I came with that proverb, and that was just one
Right.
particular place I was going, but then I talked about Hebrews 1 when the Lord, when the Father said, "Thy throne, unto the Son," He said, "Thy throne, O God." That right there. But then I think of something else down there where the two sons of Zebedee came to the Lord. The two sons of Zebedee. James. It was James and John came to the Lord and asked for positions.
Right.
And then the Lord said, "It's not given unto me."
Right. To give
But
it out.
to give it to you, but
Exactly.
unto my Father.
Exactly.
So there was a distinction being made right there.
Right.
And again, I truly agree with them being one because it's like a marriage relationship. You could be one with your wife.
Right.
In the mind though.
Right.
But there's a difference. One
Right.
is the head, and
Right.
and
Yeah, you
which
got
is the
order.
man. So it is order, is what I'm saying. So
Right.
I would really have to kind of like just sit and listen and hear the scriptures that you brothers gonna come with.
Yeah, that's a good script. He said unto the Son, he said. And that's going back to the old.
Yeah. Yeah, that was. So was counsel too. But go ahead. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one.
So my question, as far as established, was based off this. In 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter, when it's breaking down.
We gonna read it. We can read it.
Right.
I don't know if we got anything. You got anything on YouTube? Cause
Man, I ain't even looked at no YouTube. This been right here.
let's
It's
check
been a
what we
long
got on
time.
YouTube, man, so we don't go too far. But we gonna read that.
I didn't want nobody to ask me. This is going.
And we all are pretty much on one accord. It's just a time. It's
Right,
a time
timing
frame
of it, right.
on when all of this taking place.
Yeah, we ain't got
That's
no
the thing. I used to think too. I thought everybody think like that. Okay, God created the earth, but then who created God? You know what I'm saying? Did one create the other one before that? How did that go? You start to get into some deep,
They don't understand that it's two.
Right.
They try to say everything is just Jesus.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But who
Yeah.
rose Jesus from the dead?
Right.
It was
Yeah.
the Father.
Yeah,
so
they did. They go
they
down.
understand the God.
Yeah, I didn't heard that before. I didn't heard that.
Well, so going back to the 1 Corinthians 11,
We can read it. Where you want to start at?
you can start at verse 1.
Go ahead. Take your time. I know you was
Be
looking
ye
on YouTube.
followers of me, even as I also am of Christ. Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things and keep the ordinance as I delivered them to you. But I would have you to know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God. Every man praying for
Well, that's it.
Right, so that's order, right.
So that's order. So when did that order begin? Because I know.
See, that's what we probably got to chop up maybe afterwards, because this gonna go on for on. But
I'm saying.
Because see, that's the thing. It's the timeline we all trying to get, and because really, even when you're dealing with God, ain't no beginning or end. So it's like, when did this all take place, and what came first, and what order came first? So
Right.
you reaching, because hey, they obviously established how they was gonna do things from the very beginning.
So one thing
So-
I want to point out, like when you have Adam, you have the order of man and woman before he came into the flesh. So it would just make more sense that the Father being the head over him would be before he came in the flesh. So that's what I'm saying.
But yeah, I agree with that. But at some point, they had to have a blueprint on how all this stuff is going to have to go on from the very beginning.
There you go. So in Genesis 1:1, he said, let us make man in our image. Who said that? The Father. The Father said that. And who did it? Jesus did it. So it was the Father's blueprint, and who worked it out? The Son did it.
But you could go back before that and see who. I know that's at the beginning, but that's the beginning of the creation.
That's all we got.
Well. I mean, if you want to say it like that, then fine. I'm good with that. If you're just bringing it to the creation, because obviously they had to have a blueprint even before that. That's just what he had them write down to talk about. But to even establish that is probably beyond that. What's wrong, Hebrew? Okay. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah. Ain't nothing. It's all good. Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Oh, yeah, probably. I mean, it's one of those questions. I didn't want to get into that. I hear you. Leave it off on the side. I feel you. It is what it is. Yeah. I mean, and that's why I don't even.
Mark 3?
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's direct order. It's just a time frame. It's a time frame thing. That's all. When it comes to
Mark
that.
3 and 10.
For he had healed many, insomuch that they pressed upon him to touch him, as many as had plague. And unclean spirits, when they saw him, fell down before him and cried, saying, Thou art the Son of God.
So the angels. So what time is the angel speaking about? After he got
right. That's a good point.
You're not talking about after he had baptized or none of that.
Right.
They know who he is. He said he charged them to say nothing after that.
Right.
Don't expose who he is.
Right.
Son of God. He said, I know who you are.
Right.
Son of God.
I'm back.
But then.
Hold on. Let's go to John. John 1.
Let's
Because I'm trying to make sure I don't say nothing crazy.
No, it's all
up
good.
here.
It's all good. Ain't nothing on what's
the
the name.
whole
So
bunch of just boom, 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 boom,
yeah.
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, it's all good. That's what the beautiful part about it, because we put our minds together.
All right. John 1 and verse 1. John 1 and verse 1. I'll go ahead and read it. It said, in the beginning was the Word. So we know him as the Word, right?
Right.
And the Word was with God. And the Word was God, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all see anywhere where it said in the beginning was the Father and in the beginning was the Son?
Okay.
It just say in the beginning
All
was
right,
the
brother,
Word.
be cool. We good cool. Don't hit too hard now.
Verse 2.
Relax, brother.
Don't hit too. Give me 1 second. Let me grab my
Verse
book.
2. Verse 2.
Okay.
The same was in the beginning with God. All right? So the Word was still God. So we don't see right here where it say Father and Son.
Okay.
All right? Verse 3. All things were made by him, and without him not anything was made that was made. So who made everything? Right, the Word, right? All right? In him was the life, and the life was the light of men. All right? So now this going to go into a whole nother type of different topic. Then we're trying to get into the first day. And I'm not going to get into all, because that's a whole nother lesson. All right? So, and the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. All right? So we can skip down and read verse 7. The same came for a witness to bear witness of the light, and all the men through him might believe. He was not the light. Now the light they talking about right there, it's talking about John was not the light, but was sent to bear witness of that light. So Jesus is also the light. We know the Word is the light, right? So you know what I'm saying?
That's a good point. That's a good point. And Brother Abijah had a good point too. But then he said with the angels who knew something, right? Go over to Isaiah 14. Because we got to keep in mind who the angel was, right? Before he was the devil, he was Lucifer, right? Right? So by him being Lucifer, what does that mean? He had the job that Gabriel had. So Isaiah 14, and pick it up at verse 12. Isaiah 14 and 12. Go ahead.
How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cast down in the ground, which didst weaken the nations?
Right.
For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
So he was in the beginning, he was there. He had that position, so he knew what was going on. Because Gabriel, right now, said what? They bear record in heaven, right? Well, who had that job before him? So he knew what was going on, because he was there with them. So for them angels to know something, hey, that ain't nothing. They know, because he had the plan already, right? Because he had that from the beginning, what was going on. So that just leads you back to the time frame, that's all. You know what I'm saying? So even though the angels knew, but hey, Satan knew. Because he was Lucifer first, right? And he was the one who knew he supposed to be a life bringer, right? So he had that information, what was going on. At one point in time, he bear record in heaven, right? Right? Because he was Lucifer, right? He had life bringer, right? He had that job, right? But
As far as him being a light bringer and all of that, that was his job before. We can't read that. We can't read that. That ain't in the book. That ain't in the book.
okay. But he was Lucifer, right? Which means, what does Lucifer mean?
You tell me. What is Lucifer? You said it. He called Lucifer son of the morning. That's what I read.
Okay. Okay, let's go. Okay, give me a second.
That was talking about
No.
That's talking about John the Baptist.
No.
Y'all gonna stop making me seem like I'm the angry man up here now. I need water, dog.
It's all good.
What y'all looking for? What y'all looking for, Art?
I don't know.
He ain't looking for nothing. That's just me.
Y'all come in here with these barn burner questions and it's silence in here. And
No, it's all good.
I told him. I warned him.
Yeah. Oh, you talking about this? Yeah.
I warned him.
This is.
Nah, it's all good, man. It is what it is.
Hey, is the question?
Yeah, we're gonna just drop this question.
See what?
But you like you saying you never saw Satan is the light bringer.
Oh no, that's not in there. It's not in there.
It in YouTube dropped.
YouTube dropped off.
You got questions on Facebook, so we.
Yeah, we just good.
No, I just got a text. Somebody said you have questions.
What's on Facebook?
I just got a text message that said.
It got a question. Okay, check Facebook. I gotta check it.
Yeah.
We gonna be.
Yeah, exactly. We'll deal with it later.
Yeah. This is off camera right here.
They want
This
to
shop
ask-
talk.
Yeah.
They wanted to ask it. It's different
this
stuff
shop
that
talk.
can, you know what I mean?
I see that.
Everything don't go on.
Because this a whole this go to back. We'll be doing a whole lesson in here trying to deal with that.
Okay.
too, man.
It says here. Here's the question here. It said, "Happy Sabbath, Sharon Key." Okay. She said, "From my understanding, putting away and divorce is two separate things. Putting away and divorce is two separate things.
Where you going, Art?
Can you give some understanding on two? The Lord say He hate putting away, not divorce. Is that correct?" Yeah, He said He hate putting away. And if a man doesn't want the woman marriage anymore, should he give her a divorce and set her free? To put her away is like keeping her hanging on. So I'm trying to make sure I understand the question, because you got two things going on here.
said what?
Yeah, he hate put it away. He said. She
Go
said.
ahead. Say it. Say it on.
I think she's asking the difference between putting away and divorce.
Yeah. What's the difference? What?
That's a good question. Let's.
I said,
Art,
yeah,
you
there's a
got this
difference. Putting her away means she can't get married again. Divorcing her means she can. Right?
That's it. That's
Well,
it.
either right, he gonna read it.
He just. That's it.
Matthew 18.
Yeah, that's one part.
Matthew 19.
Yeah, we can go there. Yeah.
You can read the law. You can read the decree of divorce.
Question. That's a great question.
Yeah, you read the decree of divorce.
That's a great
too.
question.
Y'all said we gonna start at Matthew 19 first.
Yeah.
Art, I'm not messing with you. We on camera.
I know. That's why he
Yeah, let him read. Let him read.
You don't just read one verse. We don't do that.
Yeah, you gotta read. Let him read. Let him just go ahead
Don't
and
read
read.
one verse. That's where you get confused.
Hold on,
Hold
brother.
on. You ain't reading now. He reading.
Brother Ben. Brother Ben.
They saying your start time is over,
Watch.
brother.
Watch. He got you.
They said you had your start time, brother. Matthew 19. What y'all say? What we say? Look, y'all, you made me forget where I was at now.
Let me see.
7. Well, where y'all want to start? Hebrew, where you want to start?
Start at 1. Go ahead.
All right. Where you want to go? 19 and Matthew 19 and 1. And it came to pass that when Jesus had finished these sayings, he departed from Galilee and came into the coasts of Judea beyond Jordan. And great multitudes followed him, and he healed them there. The Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him, and saying unto him, Is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause?
Because that's what they was doing. That's exactly what was happening. They was having a problem, which is what we doing right now. We don't like the way you even look, we get rid of you. Have one little issue, we get rid of you. So that was the whole thing. So that's why he said any cause, because that's obviously what was going on. They was like, dude, I ain't like such and such about you. I'm tired of you. I'm gonna give me another one. So then they came up with they came up with using the bill of divorce, but obviously they're not using it correctly. But go ahead.
Verse 4, and he answered and said unto them, Have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female, and said, For this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh. Wherefore, they are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore God have joined together, let no man put asunder.
So he's telling them, hey, this is what the Lord has got set up. So that's what the separation was part of that. So you wasn't supposed to separate. Let me get back to that question again.
Hold on,
Yeah, you're going to get to the good stuff. You're going to keep reading, but I want to make sure we're on point with that. So it was just like she said right here. She said, from my understanding, you're putting away and divorce are two separate things. Can you please give some understanding on the two? Okay, so go ahead.
Verse 7, they say unto him, Why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement and to put her away? He said to them, Moses, because of the hardness of your heart, suffered you to put away your wives. But from the beginning, it was not so.
So that's also one of the questions, because the question was, do the Lord hate it? Yes, he does, because he said from the beginning it wasn't so. Hold on. Go ahead. You're going to give you the mic. Go ahead.
So it's two of them there in number 7. This says a writing of divorcement, comma, and to put her away. So that's not the same thing, right?
Right.
All right.
Yeah. We're going to get there.
Yeah,
right.
we're
going to get there.
reading.
Yeah. You're going to get there.
All right. Y'all done made me lose. Oh, verse 9.
Yeah.
And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except for it be for fornication, shall marry another, committeth adultery.
Okay, so now here you go right there. So for one, he hated for you to put him away. And then if she was put away, and then she go marry another, she's fornicating, right? So it was never so. That's why the thing, it was never so for you to even get a divorce. Once you get married, that's contract. That's for life and death. It has always been for life and death. That's just how it is. Except for what? Fornication, right? That was your out. But go ahead.
Marry another, committeth adultery, and whoso marrieth her which is put away doth commit adultery.
So now you got it here. So you got if you put them away, that's the difference. If you put them away, they can't go marry another. That's just what it is. So that's your two things there. Which is, it is well. So now her extra question on the end of that, she said, and if the man don't want the woman to marry anyone, you should give her a bill and set her free to put her away. If you don't put her away, then he just keep her hanging on. Is that what she's saying?
Saying if you put her away, you have her
hanging on, right?
Put away and divorce, two different
things, right? So he said if you put her away,
yeah, if you just
she off to the side. She can't marry no more. That's what the book say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Divorce is divorce.
Right, exactly.
He just said if you marry a woman that is put away, you cause that's adultery.
That's adultery.
Because what? She's still married.
Right. She's still married.
She's not divorced.
Right, because you never could get a divorce.
No. That's not what. That's
No,
not
I was saying that you couldn't. Once you get married, that was it.
No,
that's not.
He said that was the goal. That's how it was supposed to be.
Right. Exactly in the beginning. Right.
But he put a but. He said, but due to the hardness of your hearts,
he gave the bill of written divorce.
Moses suffered it to be so.
Right. To put him away.
To divorce and to put away. That's what it says.
Right.
Now the question is in verse 3, can I put her away for any reason?
No. But was that her question?
That's what she said. That's what.
I don't know if she was saying that.
No. I'm trying to answer her question, but
okay.
we're using scriptures.
Right, correct.
So in verse 3, the Pharisees, what were they trying to do? Trip them up, right?
Exactly.
That's what they always try to do.
Correct.
So the question is, can I put her away for any cause?
You cannot.
The answer is in verse 9.
Right. Go ahead and read that again.
I didn't get ahead of myself.
No, it's all good.
So I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know you read it. Just read it again.
24 and 9. I said 24 and 9.
19 and
19 and 9. 19
Look,
and 9.
y'all ready to get to the end of the world. Look at that, bro. I'm telling you. Phones ringing. And I say unto you, whosoever should put away his wife except for it be fornication.
All right.
Right.
So the only way you can just put her away, have her
Fornication.
sitting out, is if she committed fornication.
Right.
If you go back to 1 Samuel 21, when he did it in chapter 15 or 16. Absalom went into David's concubines.
Right.
And then you could go to 1 Samuel 21, I believe. And what did he do to those concubines he went into? He shut them up.
He shut
put
them
them
up.
away.
Put them away.
Put 'em
Same
away.
thing.
Why? Because they committed fornication.
Right. With his son. Right.
Now, what she's asking is if I didn't commit no fornication and he just got me out here put away in limbo, shouldn't he just give me a bill of divorcement and let me go free so I can marry someone else if he don't want me no more? That's the question. And we see Christ say, it was never for y'all to break up.
Right.
But due to the hardness of your hearts,
Right.
and that's a hardness of your heart
Yeah,
situation.
it is. Let somebody hang on.
Right. Why are you doing that? Because eventually that itch going to need to be scratched. And what you're going to end up doing?
She's gonna
Committing
fornicate.
adultery.
Yeah.
So she's asking you, or she's saying, shouldn't he, instead of having me out here in limbo, shouldn't he just give me a written hand, a bill of divorcement? That's what we see in the scriptures.
Yeah.
So what's the answer to that? Is that?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was actually Moses gave it, so it is what it is.
Say it was wrong.
No, he gave it.
He gave the reason behind it.
Yeah. It wasn't meant to be.
Right, there you go.
But the thing is, he have to do it.
There you go.
See,
She
that's
said,
the
shouldn't
thing.
he?
He got to do it. Now, is it wrong for him? He shouldn't keep you in limbo, but if he won't do it, then you stuck.
But the Lord hate. That's what the Lord hate, putting away.
Yeah.
He hate.
Yeah, he hate it.
He hate it. You know how that's messed up?
Yeah.
Because she eventually.
Yeah, it's going. Yeah, of course, because it is what it is.
He hate that.
Yeah.
He hate putting.
Because we already know the outcome of that.
Right. He hate that.
Yeah.
He hate putting away.
Yeah.
Should have divorced her instead of having her commit sin.
Yeah. Exactly. He told you that initially in the beginning, it was not so.
It
wasn't so. That's not what. That's not the plan of marriage. You know, you ain't supposed to break a covenant. You know, so that's what he's saying. He never said do that. He's just saying because the hardness of their heart. That's why it's messed up, because it was never supposed to be like that. So then when you add in the bill of divorce, you add in because it was just like this situation that the sister is probably having. It gets like that. So you have to deal with it. So you have to at least, do something about it because it ain't right. Because she's sitting there, and the scripture tells it's better to marry than to burn. So eventually something's gonna happen that's gonna, because you're supposed to always try to get rid of whoredom out the land, because there's never nothing good coming out of that. So that's all he's saying. He's not telling you that you can just get the boy. He ain't saying. It wasn't from the beginning is what he was saying. But because this stuff's so bogus and people so wicked, you got to deal with it.
That's bogus. Have a sister out here don't.
Exactly. Yeah. That's always been a hard thing with it because, for one, it's off the program. It's not really designed to go like that. And I say it all the time. Once you deviate from the way the Lord has things set up, you kind of like, I'm a contractor, I'm an electrician. If you don't have no blueprint, once you get off of that, you just winging it. Fact. And anything liable to happen. So that's the problem. Once you get outside the guidelines of God, like I had my first son, he wasn't in my marriage now. There's no blueprint on how that's supposed to operate. So now it's just haywire because it's just not designed to be like that. So now you winging it because things ain't gonna be right. You fight like we come up with the term baby mama. That stuff shouldn't exist.
But now, this case, this ain't winging it. Clear-cut scripture.
No, yeah.
Clear-cut scripture on how
it tells you what he's supposed to do. Yeah. Now he has to do it though.
He do got to do it.
He's got to do it.
He should do it. That's what she was saying.
Yeah, he got to do it. But if he don't do it,
he in trouble because you just come.
Yeah.
You cause her to
because of her to sin.
Exactly.
If she do that. If she do that.
That's a hard.
If she do it.
Up.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Go ahead. Let me get back.
So can you put away without divorce?
Yeah.
Meaning that you just put out your house.
Yeah.
Put away, meaning you put out your house, but you don't necessarily divorce. So was the issue putting her out your house unlawfully? Now you just got her out there, especially in these times, because the women they didn't have a house that they can own and do all this. So you pretty much, when you putting them out there, you making them impoverished when you put them out there.
Yeah, that was what Moses was dealing with.
Right.
That's the problem Moses was dealing with. And that's the thing when you start dealing with off the cuff stuff, because the Lord didn't put that in there, and He allowed Moses to do that. He allowed him to do it because it was just like you said, like you just leaving me out here stranded, and you just had to deal. You had to deal with it, which He don't even like it, but you had to deal with it because it's going on.
He hated it.
He hated it, right. Just the opposite of that, right? He hated it. But you had to deal with it because it was just out of pocket. So He allowed Moses to do it because it was just like it had to be dealt with.
He allowed Moses to write
bill of divorce.
Bill of divorce.
Right.
He hate putting away.
Right, but he had right.
But he accepted the bill of divorce.
Right, exactly.
The hardness of your hearts.
Exactly.
Just let the sister go.
Exactly. So
because again, they didn't have. It ain't 2020.
Right.
But even in 2020. You still married. If you married, you married covenant, you still married. You can't go just because he put you out. You can't go to somebody else.
Exactly.
He has to let you out.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing, and that's her problem because he ain't letting her out.
Right, and the Lord hate that.
Yeah. He gonna deal with him. She just gotta be patient.
There you go. That's the answer.
Yeah.
Did she get it? Say it again.
Yeah, I don't, yeah.
Say the answer.
Yeah, I mean, he gonna have to deal with him. You know, you gotta leave that up to the Lord, because that's the order. Just like he read in we read that 1 Corinthians 11. That's just the order, and that's just it. He deal with him. That when you get from that man's head, it goes to God, and that's just that. So if he don't do what he's supposed to do, she got to put it on the Lord. So yeah.
So can a man? I mean, do a man supposed to divorce a woman or what? You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I'm saying that's my whole understanding that you're supposed to get divorced.
Dick, you ain't getting divorced, man. You can just
No,
get
I ain't
that
trying to get
out your
divorced, but I'm just saying. Period. Period.
That was never
God hate divorce
that
too?
was never from the beginning. So it wasn't supposed to ever happen.
What verse is that? John 4.
That's the woman at the well. Yeah, the woman at the well. Right.
Because of the times.
Oh, my bad, bro. Here, you need the mic.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, go ahead, say that over again. So
Okay. With all the talk, I was just thinking about St. John 4, and I guess you could start reading at verse 15 down to 18.
So I guess she good. She said, yes, brother, speaking is correct. She
Okay.
good on that. He said, so putting away and divorce is different, yes. So that's that. But go ahead with yours.
Yeah, St. John 4 and 15 down to 18.
Okay, this is the woman at the well.
No, it's just something that came up. I was just showing.
No, he can read it. He wanted him to read it.
wanted to read it?
Go ahead and read it.
The woman said to him, "Sir, give me this water."
Now, obviously, this is Jesus. He asking the woman for some water, and then they both at the well. Go ahead.
That I thirst not, neither come hither to draw. Jesus said unto her, Go, call thy husband and come hither. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Jesus said unto her, Thou hast well said, I have no husband. For thou hast had 5 husbands, and he whom thou now hast is not thy husband.
So,
Here.
yeah.
Yeah, she just out here.
Now, did she get married 5 times?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
She got married 5 times.
5 times,
That's how
right.
you get 5 husbands.
That's right. That's 5. She made 5 covenants. And now, where the rest of the husbands? Are all of them deceased? I don't know. We be reading into it.
Don't say that.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Right. I don't know.
If you go to 1 Corinthians 7, he said, is any man loose from a wife?
Right. So it could be,
loose
it could be either way. You don't really know. That's all I was saying. Right? No, he spoke on that. But go ahead. No, that's good stuff.
It's off.
You got it now.
Didn't Jesus tell her at some point to go let somebody know?
Yeah, he just read it.
That don't that denote that she had a husband that was alive? I mean,
well, let's go back and read. Let's read it again. Let's go back and read it again.
Yeah, she was with him.
Right, exactly. We're gonna read. Let's read it again. Go ahead, pick it up at 15. Read it again. Make it clear. Go ahead.
The woman said to him, Sir, give me this water that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw. Jesus said unto her, Go, call thy husband and come hither.
So he said, go and call your husband, right?
Right.
Go ahead.
The woman answered and said, I have no husband.
So she told him, I ain't got no husband. Go ahead.
Jesus said unto her, Thou hast well said, I have no husband. For thou hast had 5 husbands. And he whom thou now hast is not thy husband.
So he just told her right there, he ain't husband. So he ain't, even though she would have. Now I don't know what's going on.
You know how I go.
Hey,
it ain't hard to tell.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna read into it. That's the thing, you be reading into it.
That ain't
speculation.
I ain't gonna I ain't gonna
That ain't
exactly. We ain't gonna even get into reading into
The
it.
sister got a question answered. Great job.
Right, yeah, that's right, exactly.
What's the next one?
We ain't gonna read into it, but he said she had 5 before that. So
Man.
that's rough. That's rough. Hey, he ain't a husband, so obviously he ain't married. Now, what him being with that means, I don't know.
He ain't made the cut. I don't know.
Right, exactly.
Or maybe she's still on,
Right. Thinking about it, right, exactly.
Got a contract with
Right.
somebody else.
Right, exactly. Yeah. She out there.
And just left.
Right.
Now she what?
Right. She wasn't Israel either, so.
But
But don't matter, though.
We don't act like the people in the Bible either.
Right, yeah, exactly.
no.
So let me look on here then real quick. Okay. Yeah, he said putting away sounds like separation. Yeah, it is. It's legal separation. Yeah. 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 Yep. That's married. That's exactly. Married to be married and burn. I ain't got nothing else on here. What on YouTube?
Nothing. YouTube just spinning.
YouTube crashed.
No, we are on YouTube.
I'm on Facebook.
Nope, YouTube spinning.
Yeah, it's legal separation. Yeah, that's how it is. It's good stuff though. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yours came up?
Okay, go ahead. What's on Deuteronomy? Let's read it. Read it out real quick.
Got it now.
You got it. He got it.
You got it?
He got it. Yeah, he can read it.
All right. Deuteronomy 12 and 22. What does it mean when it says the unclean and the clean say eat of them alike?
Let's go read it.
Deuteronomy 12 and 22. What does it mean when it says the unclean and the clean say eat of them alike? Let me get that 12 and 22.
Oh, that's just talking about we talking about clean and unclean. It's just eating clean.
Clean and unclean.
Clean.
people.
The clean is what you gonna eat. It say even. Let's go ahead and read it. This is offering. This is about talking about offering. That's 21. Pick up at